Welcome to Marquee Backstage. I'm your host, Julie Milam. Raw, chaotic, controlled, truth. It's what we all seek and the driving force behind what we create. In this episode, our featured artist taps into her truth to create music that is deep, self-reflective, and relatable. Her ultimate goal is for anyone who listens to her music to feel a little less alone. This is Maggie Miles.
You say you're never loud, but you shout what you're given. It's moving in a space where you doubt where you're living. Capabilities, they deceive all the focus. Roaming through a dream with an unfulfilling motive. Say you better now, but your mouth fills with poison. Don't bend, negotiating whose credit is earned in this. I fell in. Am I drowning or am I just learning how to swim? I'm sinking. If I push up from the bottom, will I breathe again? Or am I just learning how to swim? In a page that you wish you could soak up.
Maggie, I want to break it down. I want to know where everything began for you. Tell me what you were like as a child.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've always loved like entertaining in some capacity, but it hasn't always been music.
Was there music in your house ever?
Yeah, I mean, my parents have always loved music and like having it just be a really big part of car rides and moments. Like, I don't remember any time like on Christmas morning even that there wasn't music playing, or Thanksgiving. Like, it's just always like, yeah, we need to put music on just to have it around.
Right.
But as far as like instruments and stuff, my dad played a little bit of bass when I was a lot younger, but never anything that was like, you know, putting yourself really out there. I actually really wanted to play electric guitar, but I was too scared.
Yeah?
I was scared of not being good, which is really dumb, because you're never not going to be good unless you do it. But
it's putting yourself out there too, though, because I'm exactly that way. If someone says, hey, you want to try this? No, I'll practice at home, and when I'm good at it, I'll try it in front of you.
In front of you.
So I totally understand that. But did you decide, hey, you know what, I'm going to do this on my own just to figure it out because I've got a desire to try it?
I did and I didn't. I started on piano instead. So it was a little bit more accessible to me because we had this, just like a lot of lower middle class families do in America, just a random piano that's like out of tune in a room.
Right.
And so I would just go over there and just kind of like ding, 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 plinker around, and I noticed myself just feeling this like magnetism about it. Like, I can't really explain it. I was just like, yeah, this is sick. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but this is sick, you know? And that's kind of where that started for me.
Did you realize what you were doing was building towards your future?
All of that was just kind of like confined by my bedroom. Because I was like 16 or 17 when I really started like actually like playing piano. And I, at that same time in my life, was starting to like really experience like my first like real struggles that like shaped who I am now, like with my mental health and otherwise. And so I would come home from school and just have these little melodies or whatever, and I just felt really cathartic, and it was a really pure thing. It wasn't like an arena's gonna sing this. It was like, this is like, I need to do this. And then a little bit later, I kind of like started playing in church because I'm actually a pastor's kid. And my dad like kind of started figuring out that I was like sort of like into music. And he was like, you're playing that piano a lot, you know, like you're really doing that a lot. He's like, why don't you do the worship team for youth group? And I was like, and I was like so scared. I was like, maybe, I don't know.
Even though it was your worship team that you were used to.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's like a high school youth group. It's like a bunch of kids, like they're not even like paying attention. Like it doesn't, like, no, I mean, some of them are maybe, I don't know, but I wasn't.
Yes.
Like, but yeah, so I was like, all right, Dad, yeah, whatever. And so I auditioned, and I just, for like a year, like hid behind the synth and would just be like, you know,
playing my part.
Playing those Holy Spirit chords, you know, for like when the pastor comes up. Yeah. That type of vibe. And then like, it was like one Sunday morning, there was a microphone in front of me, and the guy like leading, he's like, hey, like literally during the set, he was like, can you sing harmonies? And I was like, oh, yeah. And so I just like, kind of just like did it.
For the first time.
For the first time, like in front of people. Gave it some time, step out of a line away from everything I need. Circle back to my conscience, cut off all bad intentions to a false independence. Circle back, I've been trying to make myself alive. I'm awake, but my motivation died. Someone to my emotions, 'cause they're spinning out, I've been trying to make myself alive. I'm awake, but my motivation died. Someone rapture me.
Roll.
So after high school, how did you plan your next step? What did you really want to do when you finished high school?
That kind of was weird because the whole like worship team thing definitely made me feel like I had to pursue that. Growing up as a pastor's kid, I was like, okay, if I'm gonna do music, I like have to do it this way. Even though I was
tough. Because if your heart's not totally in it,
yeah,
you don't want to let people down, especially we don't want to let our parents down.
Deciphering even now at 22, like who I'm scared of letting down. Is it God? Is it my parents? Is it me?
Yeah. It's a huge burden to bear. But you don't have to think of it as letting anybody down, as long as you're true to who you are. Because you aren't quite sure yet who you were created to be.
Yeah.
So it's all okay.
I have an idea, but it scares me a lot of the time.
And as you get older, though, that's going to become extremely clear. You just have to get up every day and follow it.
Yeah. Which
is what you've done a great job at doing.
Oh, thank you.
Tell us how you made it to Nashville.
Well, I thought I was going to do the worship thing, and so I was going to go to a worship college after high school, and I got in. And then, like, a little bit before I was supposed to move there, I was in Florida. I got a phone call from the admissions office, and they were like, hey, we can't take you. And I was like, what do you mean? And the church I was going to at the time was helping me financially with it, because I was going to pay for it. And they're like, yeah, we can't accept the like loans or scholarships, whatever. It's really weird and really divine, I think. So I was like, okay. And it's like an audition in type of school, like really small, like really, really small, like 50 students.
Wow.
Yeah, like I had to go through like a long process to get in. And I was gonna be doing their worship songwriting class, which is crazy. Yeah, and so that didn't happen. So I had to go to my parents and be like, hey guys, that was my plan.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do now. And so they, like, I thank my parents so much for that season of my life, because they had every opportunity and like justification to be like, no, you're going to do community college, you're gonna figure it out. But they were like, okay, we trust you're gonna figure this out. And so I lived in my parents' basement for 2 years after high school. In that process, wrote some of my favorite songs ever that I've written, and started putting myself out there. I put out my first single in 2018, played my first show in 2018, and then played a show in DC for the first time in 2019, and that's what got me to Nashville. I was discovered at that venue.
So from there, dots were connected, an intro was made.
Yeah.
And Nashville, of all places.
Well, it was a little different than that.
Okay.
I played the show and it didn't go great, actually. I was kind of in a bad mood. And I remember I was zipping up my keyboard and I was like, what the heck? This is not good. And this man walks up to me, and I remember he had a ball cap on, so I couldn't really see his eyes. And I was like, who are you? And he was on stage too, so I was like, how did you, okay, hi. And he's like, hey kiddo, I loved your set. And I was like, thanks, and I didn't think it went very well, so I was like, okay, thank you. And he's like, yeah, would you ever move to Nashville? And again, I was kind of grumpy, and so I was like, no, absolutely not. That's what I said.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, maybe you should think about it. Walked away, didn't see him again. And a week later, I get a phone call from my now manager, Nicole. She's like, hey, I got a video sent to me of you playing at this small club in DC. She was like, who are you? And I was like, I don't know yet, but and we just
But if
talked.
you can help me figure it out, that'd be great.
Yeah. And so she's like, look, I want to manage you, but you need to move here.
And your heart said, this person genuinely wants to help me.
I was like, look, I'm willing to do this. I'm not going to live in this basement anymore. Because that basement resembled for me, obviously my family was there and I love them. And they were amazing. But I was nearing the top of the staircase, metaphorically. And I think that phone call kind of felt like the door opening and me being like, this is the beginning.
Echoes remind me of who I am and who I was. Now I can stand. My eyes are lifted toward the clouds, but your help, it is covered by my doubt. It's covered by my doubt. Why do I separate? Why do I separate myself? I'm split right down the middle. I can't help but feel just a little sense. A little sense. I'm so near apart at the middle. I hope that I still have a little sense. A little sense. Disappointment follows me everywhere that I turn. I feel like I can't breathe. Captivate every thought you say, but if they slip by, should I run away? Why do I separate? Why do I separate myself? Why do I separate? Why do I separate? Why do I separate myself? I'm split right down the middle. I can't help but feel just a little tense. A little tense. Oh, I'm torn apart.
What do you love most about where you are right now in your life? Now that you've been in Nashville for a little while.
I am not where I thought I would be 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a good thing or a bad thing, because I'm where I'm supposed to be.
And it's difficult to be comfortable in that place.
Yeah, it is.
But again, it's being faithful that the timeline's not yours, but the timeline's been set.
Yeah.
And if you can be patient and work through it and continue to believe in yourself and the music that you're creating to share with other people, it's going to be exactly where it should be.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you're working on right now that are the most exciting for you?
I mean, I put out my debut project in summer 2020, and the week that I put it out, I woke up in the middle of the night because I had a dream about my second album, and I knew what the cover was supposed to be, and I knew what the title was, and I knew what I had to say.
Amazing.
And I was like,
that project wrote itself.
it did.
Mm-hmm.
And it's coming out this year, and I am so excited. I'm so excited because it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Like a long time. And anybody who's like friends with me or like in close proximity to me knows that I do not shut up about it. Like my roommate Joanna's here, and she like literally on the car ride here, I was like found myself just like talking about the most like minuscule things about like certain songs, and she's great. She's like, this is awesome. But I like would stop and be like, I'm sorry. Because it's just like every 5 seconds, I feel like. But it's my child. Like, it's the most honest songwriting I've ever, like, allowed to happen. And that excites me the most.
Vulnerability and transparency go a lot farther than you think they will, but they're scary as hell.
Oh, yeah. They're so scary. Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Is there a certain song on the project that you're more proud of? Are there a couple of songs that show sides of Maggie that might surprise people?
Absolutely. Yes.
Tell us about them. You don't have to go into detail.
I want to let it be a little bit of a surprise, but...
Okay. What about some of the songs you're going to perform today?
Yeah, I mean, there's a song called ASTHMA that I'm going to be playing today that... funny enough, it's such the opposite of an acoustic song.
Okay.
But that kind of excites me.
Yes.
Because stuff doesn't really happen until you take risks. So I'm planning on playing that today, which that's going to be the first single off of this upcoming project. And I'm excited about it.
When you were sequencing this record, because you said it came to you in your dreams, like it came to you at night and you could see it all, like did you already see how the emotion was going to lay out through the record?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I knew it was going to be a little bit darker, but I knew that it was going to deliver hope. Because the whole theme of my first album is questions and allowing them to exist. When you're raised in an institution of faith, it's good sometimes, but it's also not as flexible and forgiving as it preaches to be. And I think that was kind of what that album was. It was being like, hey, I have questions and you do too, and it's okay.
Right.
We're allowed to ask them. This album is solidifying those questions. It's me on the other side of them and maybe having some answers.
Yeah.
And like, it's kind of exciting.
It's Maggie Miles full circle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it feels like. For
It's
sure.
time.
Bury my ashes in the clouds. Punching my lungs a fifth time now. What you want? I say I don't need what you want. No, I wanna be free. Oh, I wanna be free. Oh. What you want? Oh, I say I don't need what you want. No, I wanna be free. Oh, wanna be free. Oh. giving you less in spite of pain. Burning the mess, that is my shame, that is my shame. What you want, say I don't need what you want, no, I wanna be free, oh, wanna be free, oh. What you want, oh, I say I don't need what you want, no, I wanna be free, oh, wanna be free, oh. Pretty sure I learned my lesson, I can tell 'cause I feel different. I won't try to sound impressive, promise I have good intentions. Be sure I learned my lesson, I can tell 'cause I feel different. I feel different. Holding my breath till I see the sun, doubting myself till I'm overrun. Feel out of touch with a better love, picking up pieces of who I. What you want, say I don't need what you want, no, I wanna be free, oh, wanna be free, oh. What you want, oh, say I don't need what you want, no, wanna be free, oh, wanna be free, oh, wanna be, oh. What you want, oh, say I don't need what you want, no, wanna be free, oh, I wanna be free, oh, oh yeah. What you want, no, say I don't need what you want, no, I wanna be free. What you want, no, say I don't need what you. Sure I learned my lesson, I can tell 'cause I feel different. I won't try to sound impressive, promise have good intentions. Pretty sure I learned my lesson, I can tell 'cause I feel different. I feel different.